Hi, I'm Jim, narcissist, have a narcissistic personality disorder. Making these videos as a firsthand kind of a recollection account, um, you just to kind of let you know what it's like to have this disorder, some of the things that I've noticed. So anybody that's looking to gain any information into this disorder or narcissism in general, right? I welcome you to, of course, reach out if you have any questions, things like that. So my topic today, and I'm excited. It's gonna be a good one, man. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So if you've seen any of my other videos, right? I'm single, right? And I got a lot of work in on myself to do. I really do, right? And I'm enjoying being single and focusing on myself. And more than that, to kind of let you know a peek behind my curtain. With my type of narcissistic personality disorder, being alone is really enormous. And when I'm not just talking like being alone, like I'm not in a relationship. I'm talking about like I live alone by myself, right? I don't work remotely every day, but 2 days out of the week I work remote. There's a lot of isolation and solitude, as well as I'm not in a relationship. And man, this has been amazing for me. And not only am I not in a relationship, I mean, I'm not seeking a relationship. I'm not dating. To give you even more information, I'm just, I think somebody had called it a demisexual or something like that. I have to be emotionally attached to someone to be able to have sex with them. I've only ever had one night stand in my life. I really didn't enjoy it. Normally, I like to date somebody and make sure we have an emotional connection before I engage in sex, right? So, so I don't have an active sex life right now. I don't have an active dating life, right? So this time with just me and myself man, it's really allowed me, to not just work with my therapist, but, to work with myself, right? I bring a lot of stuff to the table. I do a lot of research on some things, we discuss it in our sessions. I meet with my therapist twice a week. Be meeting with him later today. But what the topic is going to be today, when that time comes, right? And I'm so excited. Like, I'm gonna channel one of my all-time favorites, man, Dave Grohl, right? How do I give someone the best of you, right? Of course, Dave Grohl has a great quote, man. He says, I love that I can sing a line to 75,000 people and they'll sing it back for 75,000 different reasons. So, of course, sometimes in our journey, people don't get the best of us, right? Nobody, whether it be a friend, family member, girlfriend, coworker, whoever, nobody up to this point in my life has ever gotten the best of me. Nobody, right? Let me take that back. You may have gotten a couple that that found their way out during the during the hoovering phase, right? Oh wow, yeah, you know what I mean. And if you're not familiar with the hoovering phase, that's when we're doing everything we can to suck you in, right? We're the greatest, most amazing person in the world, but then when we suck you in, we manipulate and emotionally abuse you, right? But I'm talking about long-term, lasting best of me, right? Like my kids are gonna get the best of me for the rest of my life. On my journey, it's about making my future better than my past, right? So when the time does come and I get into a relationship, how does she get the best of me, right? And I mean, like if you've seen any of my other videos where that NPD demon doesn't scream into my ear sitting on my shoulder. I keep it underneath my foot. I keep it in control, right? And we're not talking oh man, I win 60, 70% of the time. I mean, I'm going to have fails, but I'm talking about like, wow. Like, where they're almost all successes, right? And when I get to that point, that's when it's time to start getting into a relationship again. So one of the things I've been doing is, talking with my therapist about how do we get me there, right? Because here's the thing, like, that's not just for him to decide. That's for me to decide. You know what I mean? So how do we go from I was a narcissist, letting my disorder live my life, ruin every relationship I've ever had, mess up my entire life, go from there to, oh wow, I have narcissistic personality disorder, to I'm the best version of myself for the rest of my life, right? So I'm still at that middle part of that journey, right? I've acknowledged I have this disorder, right? I've gotten a counselor. I'm working with my therapist, right? I've made the conscious decision that I want my future to be better than my past. I'm committed to change, right? I accept and acknowledge accountability for the things I've done in the past. So that's where I'm at in my journey, right? But how do I get to that next stage? Because here's the thing, I can't pull that stage to me, right? I got to get to that stage, right? It's a journey, right? The finish line doesn't come to you. You go to the finish line. And I told you, I don't glory hound, right? That's one of my really bad triggers. And I shouldn't have used finish line, because one of the things that I've gotten into over the last couple of months is running races and obstacle races and things like that. So I want you to be proud of me. I want you to be happy, right? I want you to think I'm awesome and amazing. So inside, I want to tell you how far I ran in my race on Saturday. It was only the second time I had run one of that distance. I want to tell you how many races I've ran in the last 2 months. I want to tell you my time, but I ain't gonna, because that's glory hounding, right? That's not what I do anymore. That's not me, right? But there's a start and there's a finish when I enter the race, just like I did this past Saturday. The finish line doesn't come to me. I got to get to the finish line, right? And that's how this journey works. I can't bring that next stage to me. I gotta grow, develop, and mold to get to that next stage. How do we do that, right? And I hope you feel and hear the excitement in my voice. And I'm telling you, like, I'm on the verge of tears, right? I'm excited, right? Because I can see the change. I can see the growth. I can see I'm working towards it, right? And I'm envisioning it. I'm imagining what that healthy relationship's going to be like. Picture, for you other narcissists, knowing that we don't hoover somebody, right? We show them our true self. And they really want to be with us because it's us. Not because we're pretending to be something. And that's what hoovering is. Whether you're acknowledging your manipulation or not, whether you're aware of it or not, you're presenting a facade. It's not the true you, right? Those people are not falling in love with you. They're falling in love with the person you're presenting to them. All right? That's not you. So imagine someone caring and wanting to be with you, and they know you, like the real you from the beginning. I mean, from day one, right? Like you introduce your true self to these people, right? And then knowing that they're staying with you because they truly love and appreciate who you are, and they know the real you. Man. So if you're a fellow narcissist or you have narcissistic personality disorder, right? If you have recently acknowledged that you have this disorder, you need to acknowledge that every relationship that you've ever been in your entire life was built on a lie. Hoovering is real. You presented somebody that wasn't the true you. And here's the thing. I know what this disorder does. And I'm gonna make you say, oh, everybody, pretends a little bit. No, this is different, right? And, and I always come back to the same thing, right? An alcoholic's gonna say, oh man, come on, I just drink when I go out with my buddies, right? Everybody drinks, okay? You're doing the same thing. Don't do it, right? Don't let that disorder sit on your shoulder, scream that stuff in your ears. We have this disorder. We have to take accountability. We're different. Our brain works different. Okay, so we can't say, oh, everybody pretends to be something they're not in the beginning, right? Everybody always pretends to be a little bit nicer. No, no, we're different. We're different, and we need to accept and we need to acknowledge that we put a fake facade out, and we do it worse than most people do, right? So we need, fellow narcissists and people with NPD, we need to accept that every relationship we have had up to this moment was built on a lie. And that's not how I want my relationships to be built. There's a lot of people in my past I care very greatly for, and know that foundation was not built the way that it should have been. But I'm gonna be positive, right? And just imagine, now that we know we have this disorder, imagine this, because you haven't even thought about this yet. And I tell you, when this popped in the back of my mind, oh my God, like fireworks, oh my God. So imagine getting into and being in a relationship where the hoovering doesn't end, right? So if we're building it on the right foundation and we're not hoovering, so what happens in our narcissistic relationships when our NPDs are running things? We hoover, you know what I mean? We're love bombing you, right? That's what we do. We're hoovering and love bombing you, right? And then when we got you sucked in, that's when shit goes sideways, right? That's when we unleash the demons. That's when the emotional abuse kicks in. That's when the physical abuse might kick in. That's when the sexual, the financial, all the other different types of abuse may kick in. But the emotional abuse, remember, if you have narcissistic personality disorder, there's always emotional abuse, always, right? There may be the others, but there's always emotional abuse. And once that love bombing, that hoovering stage is over, that switch flips and everything changes. Nothing's the same anymore, right? You become a different person. But if we're not hoovering and we're not love bombing, right? There's no flip. It's us. I told you it's exciting, right? So, and here's the thing. I mean, I at some point we do have to acknowledge reality. You go to the Grand Canyon for the first time. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You go there every day for 1,000 days. Day 999 might not be as exciting as day 1. I get that, but that's different, right? And we got to notice those differences, okay? Right? We got to notice those differences. So I'm not saying that, 10 years down the road, right, you're going to be all crazy and goo-goo and gaga like you were on day 1. No, I'm talking about something different. I'm talking about that fake facade. If we start off the relationship never using it, and we're showing them our true selves, because we know we have this disorder, and we're so afraid of love bombing, and we're so afraid of hoovering, right? That we're putting our real self out there. And that's what I mean. When the time comes, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna put my real self out there, because I promise you, I will welcome 10,000 rejections at who I truly am to get that one yes. Because when that one does say yes, I'm gonna know that that's the first person in my entire life that saw me and wanted to be with me, right? No tricks, no manipulation, no disorder steering the ship. I mean, just me. And and if it takes every day for the rest of my life getting rejected, that's what I'm gonna do. Because that person's gonna see the true me, and they're going to make the decision that's somebody that they love and they want to care about and they want to be with. But when you start the relationship like that and it progresses, right? There's no hoovering, there's no love bombing to stop. It's the true you from the beginning. It's going to stay the true you. So there's no switch. There's no change, right? It keeps going on the way that it should. Now, of course, like I said, it's, you go to the Grand Canyon, like I said, 1,000 days in a row, you know what I mean? But the best part of me, in every cell of my body is what I'm gonna give to the next person. They're gonna get They're gonna be the first person in my life, half a century, to ever see and get the best of me. Man, right? Like, and here's the thing. I know the love bombing's not me. I know the hoovering's not me. And I have done so much soul searching. I really have. You know, but what's at the center? Like, what's below when you peel away this disorder, when you peel away, you know, the survivor's guilt, the shame, when you peel away all that stuff, there is something just so good, you know, at the center. It really is. And I'm excited to share that with somebody one day. I'm really excited, right? I'm excited to look into someone's eyes and know for the first time in my life, right, that we truly love who each other are, right? And man, it's intense. It's intense. How do I get there, right? I told you I'm not there. I'm not there, right? I'm not there. I don't trust myself right now. You know, here's the thing. I'm sitting here thinking if it's gonna be glory hounding. Something, yeah, I told you I'm a big glory hounder. Okay, so sometimes I can be reckless, and I bought a motorcycle without knowing how to drive it, right? But what did I do? Here's the thing. It's not like I took that motorcycle and I was like, hey, Interstate 95, here we go. You stall out, 18-wheeler, right? Game over. No. So what I did was I went in the little back streets by my house. I was like, all right, boom, 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 right? Did that for a couple of times. And I was like, all right. Started going around to, you know, to the little busier streets in the neighborhood. Boom, 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 boom. Where'd I go from there, right? Then I started hitting like the really busy streets during like traffic time. Oh, here we go. Now I start riding my motorcycle to work, but you know, but not taking the big interstates, right? And then I start taking my motorcycle to work and I'm taking the highways, right? Where am I at today? And I mean, you know, now I'm like, dude, 20 mile an hour winds. F them, the jacket. Let's go, man. Let's get it, right? I progressed, right? Slowly. I did the right things. Took stages. And I got there, right? And I'm there now, right? I tell you what, I ride my motorcycle everywhere now, right? And, you know, get caught in the rain for the first time. Stuff happens, stuff goes sideways. Like the comment, yeah, topic went sideways. But point being, I didn't get on my motorcycle and immediately get on the interstate and say, oh, I'm taking this thing to work every day. I wanted to, and I thought I was going to. But I had to realize, no, this is really dangerous and this is a terrible idea. Same thing. Getting in a relationship when you're not in control of this disorder yet is dangerous. It's not just dangerous for you, it is dangerous for the other person, right? So I'm not there yet. So just like my motorcycle, I had to sit down and say, okay, man, I can't just jump out on the interstate and ride this thing to work every day. I'm crazy, because I tried, right? So I made myself a plan. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna start, you know, learning in the back streets, and then we'll go out to the, you know, neighborhood, bigger streets, and then we'll go to the two-lane streets, and then we'll go to the highways, then we'll go to the interstate, right? Then I'm gonna learn how to drive in bad weather. I'm gonna learn how to drive at night. You know, I'm gonna make sure that I try all these different facets, right? Except for hail. I'm gonna stay away. Sometimes you gotta keep the motorcycle down, right? Yeah. But that's what I'm doing with my disorder, right? I can't get into a relationship right now. I'm still working on things. So what I did, and here's what you need to do. I sat down with my therapist and I said, hey, you know, I just think about how amazing of a job you and I have done together, you know, working together to be able to peel away these internal layers and to find something beautiful inside. And, you know, and I want to share that with somebody, and I want to experience love with another person. Like, these are goals that I have for myself, and I'm not ready for that now. But man, I want that for my future, but I want it to be healthy. So what we did is, you know, we sat down and we made a list of, you know, things that we felt were important for me to be able to work on and identify, right? And that's what we're doing, you know. And at that point, you know, we'll go ahead and as I'm progressing through those things, we'll check in, see how we are with them, and you know, when we both agree that we think it's, you know, the time's right, you know, I'll branch out and I'll start that new part of the journey, right? But it's exciting. Again, it's exciting to think that I'm really looking forward to selfishly experiencing emotion and feeling for another human being again. But more importantly, oh my God, I so excited about getting into a relationship and knowing that it's going to be healthy. That I'm not going to be hurting the other person. I'm not going to be manipulating them. I'm not going to be emotionally abusing them, right? It's exciting to know that somebody's going to see the true me. I tell you, it's good to know that someone's going to be getting the best of you. I told you I'm a big Foo Fighters fan, right? I love Dave Grohl. Yeah, great song. But yeah, I mean, that's the truth. Like, yeah, the next person I'm in a serious relationship with is literally going to get the best of me. And I'm really happy and proud that what I've been able to accomplish. I'm really happy and proud of what my therapist has been able to do for me, you know, to get me as far as I have. And I mean, there's still a lot of work to do, right? But I'm feeling really good about where things are, and I'm feeling even better about where they're going. And yeah, really excited. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun journey. So yeah, for you with the disorder, hey, like I said, I think it's called a demisexual. I came across it like a couple months ago. I was never familiar with it. If you're not, I'm sorry for you. I mean, it makes my life really easy. I mean, like I said, so yeah, I I don't enjoy sex unless I'm emotionally attracted to the person, which means, you know, we have to have a connection. I don't have one night stands and stuff like that. So me being single isn't always necessarily the easiest thing, but not going out having one night stands is really easy. What I want to do, like, I'm not that friggin' big horn dog that's like, oh my God, I gotta F everything I can. You know what I mean? You know, you're going to a hotel to, you know, you're married, right? You F'd your wife in the morning before she went to work. You're headed to the hotel to F a mistress, and you're trying to F the friggin' the cashier at the hotel. I mean, I'm not, yeah. So like, here's the thing. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy that's like, oh my God, where's a girl that I can date immediately, right? Like, that's me. Like, you know, I always want to be in a relationship with somebody, in a committed relationship where they tell me they love me, and you know, those things are very important for my insecurities, you know, and that, you know, so this time alone has been really important for me. It's been really, really important. But those of you that have like those desires to go and F everything like every second, right? I don't have those. My desires are to go out and date somebody immediately, right? And you know, that just for me, I mean, you know, it makes me feel like I have fake feelings, right? When I'm love bombing and, you know, and stuff like that, like, you know, that I don't understand my feelings, you know. I gotta tell you, like, I've had a couple of situations where I dated like people and I was dropping the L-bomb, and man, I look back and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even really like them. But at the time, I mean, my mind was boom, 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 you know. So this time, being alone is really important. It's going to help me to be able to identify things like that. But the important thing is, you know, like I said, if you have this disorder, you got to do the right thing, right? We can sit here and morally talk about whether or not your manipulation is conscious or unconscious, but if you're watching my video and you think there's a chance you have this disorder, you got to take accountability. Like, you don't have an excuse anymore. You at least think there's a chance, right? So at that point, you've hopped the fence, right? You're on the other side now. So what that means is you have to take accountability, right? You have to be responsible. And you can't just go around screwing people's feelings over. You can't go around manipulating people, right? You can't go around emotionally, physically, sexually, financially abusing people anymore. It's not fair to them. They don't deserve it, right? What you want to do is start taking all that satisfaction and that gratification that you're getting from them, right? And that needs to be rechanneled, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna say, hey, I know this is how I normally get it. I normally get it from those places, but I'm gonna get it now, feeling good about myself and how I'm doing things. I mean, you've seen it. I mean, I'm almost busted into tears a couple of times. You can't even imagine how excited and motivated and how good I'm feeling inside, knowing that I'm not going out and hurting people right now, which I promise you, I wanted to do, right? Like that's what I'm replacing that feeling with, right? And it makes that good part of me even bigger, right? It makes that disorder even smaller, right? You got to do it. You got to do it, right? The bad news is, at the end of the day, it's not about what other people think about you all the time. If you're watching this video and you think you have this disorder, you've been diagnosed, there's no question anymore, right? You got to make the right choices, and you got to make the right choices because you know it's right. Not because of what other people tell you, because you know it's right. I mean, that's a lot of self-evaluation, right? But again, you can't lie to yourself any longer. Oh, well, I don't think I have it. No, if you're watching this, I mean, you got to take accountability now, right? And when it comes to relationships, now you got to start looking at what is your relationship look. If you're in one, what's it look like right now? If you're not, should you be? Right? Are you at a place where you can be in a good, healthy relationship? If not, you're an abuser, and you're a knowing abuser. And that's not acceptable. That's not okay. That's not who we are, right? Anymore. That's not the change we want for our future. That's got to stop, right? Okay. If anybody has any questions or want to reach out to me, don't hesitate. Hope this was helpful in any way to just about anybody.